Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we crack open sources to bring you the insights that truly matter. Today, we're embarking on a fascinating journey into the world of classic online games, specifically Ultima Online. And we're looking at the unsung heroes who keep these digital universes not just alive, but, continuously evolving. We're talking about these dedicated community efforts that can fundamentally change the player experience. And our spotlight today, it's on something pretty crucial to UO's interface, Gumps.
That's right. And this deep dive is all about a really remarkable community-driven tool that exemplifies this dedication. It's called the Gump editor. It's just a prime example of how passionate players and developers aren't just playing the game, they're actively building on it, creating tools that profoundly customize and enhance the whole experience. So yeah, we're going to explore how this editor empowers everyone, from casual players wanting a personal touch, right up to seasoned developers crafting entirely new game features.
Okay, so our mission is clear then. We're going to unpack how this editor actually works. We'll dive into the features that make it so powerful and try to understand the incredible pace of its ongoing development. We're drawing insights directly from its GitHub repository and, active community forums. You'll see how a classic game is really benefiting from modern, agile development. It's quite something. Okay, so let's start with the basics. What exactly are Gumps in Ultima Online? And, why would you even need an editor for them?
Right. Well, imagine pretty much every single window, button, text box, or image you see on your screen when you play Ultima Online. That's a Gump. Your inventory window, character stats, those dialogue boxes with NPCs, quest logs, they're all essentially graphical user interface elements, Gumps. And in the game like UO, which, has been around for decades, these UI elements can sometimes feel a bit, rigid or dated. So a Gump editor, then, it's a dedicated tool. It lets players and developers create, modify, manage these customizable UI elements. It fundamentally changes how you interact with the game world.
And this specific one, the UO Gump editor, how does this particular tool stand out? And who's behind it?
Yeah, the UO Gump editor. It was developed by Wilson, who goes by Kitabyte on GitHub. And it's designed to be incredibly versatile and powerful, but also, importantly, approachable. It makes designing and customizing Gumps much more accessible, whether you're new to this or you're an experienced developer. What's really noteworthy, actually, is how recently it emerged June 9, 2024. The fact that a tool this robust is still being actively created for a game of UO's vintage, that really says a lot about the community's vitality.
Huh, interesting. So if I'm a player or maybe a budding developer looking to customize my UO experience, what are the key features? What unlocks this design and customization power for me?
Well, a huge part of its appeal is definitely its user-friendly interface. It starts with a drag-and-drop interface. Think about building maybe a website or even just a presentation slide. You literally click and drag elements onto your design panel. They call it the canvas. And this isn't just, a convenience. It really democratizes game UI development. It lets even non-coders quickly iterate on interfaces. You don't need to write a single line of code just to place a button or move some text.
That sounds like a huge deal for accessibility. What other core design capabilities does it offer then?
Well, what's fascinating is how much fine-grained control it gives you. You've got element layering, which lets you manage something called Z-order. Imagine you're building a digital collage, right?
Yeah.
You want one photo over another, not hidden underneath. Z-order lets you control that visual depth. You can bring buttons or text right to the front, make sure they're always clickable and visible over backgrounds or other elements. It's really crucial for designing clear, functional interfaces. And beyond that, it has robust image and text support. You can import your own background art, customize fonts, colors, alignment, basically full artistic freedom. You can make your UI look exactly how you want it. And it's all about real-time interaction. You can instantly preview and edit elements just by selecting them right there on the canvas. No need to save, close, reopen just to see your changes.
That real-time feedback sounds incredibly efficient. So, okay, once you've tweaked something just right, how do you save it? Or share it? Or maybe come back to it later?
Yeah, that's where the workflow efficiency really shines. You can easily save and load your Gump designs to and from files, which is absolutely crucial for iteration or for sharing your creations with others, or even just backing up different versions. And for quick access, there's a convenient toolbar right there. Easy access to save, load, and export functions.
And for people really getting into the design side, spending a lot of time on it, are there any quick ways to speed up the process? Any shortcuts?
Oh, absolutely. The inclusion of practical keyboard shortcuts really streamlines the workflow for anyone spending serious time designing. You can use the arrow keys, for example, for precise, pixel-perfect movement of selected elements. Criddle plus S quickly saves your current Gump. Criddle plus O opens a previously saved design. These kinds of small but mighty additions, they significantly enhance productivity. They really do.
For a tool this powerful, built for such a classic game, I'm getting curious. How exactly is it built? Like, what makes it tick under the surface? How does it connect modern tech to a game that's, well, decades old?
That's a great question, and it really speaks to the underlying strength of the project. The editor is built on .NET, which is a modern development framework from Microsoft. You can think of .NET as this really robust toolbox for creating software. Its use here means the UO editor benefits from modern stability, security, and developer friendliness. It allows it to bring these contemporary features to a classic game like Ultima Online. It's
Yeah.
pretty neat.
Okay. And for those of us who are a bit more technically inclined or maybe just curious, how is the code actually structured? Does it look like a well-organized project from the inside?
It does, very much so, yeah. Think of it like a well-organized library. The main application logic is in the Gump editor namespace. That's like the whole building. Inside Gump editor UI is kind of like the front desk, handling everything you see and click, the entire user interface. Then editor core is like the main archive, where all the fundamental operations happen, managing elements, art assets, that sort of thing. And element control is like a specialized librarian for each piece of artwork or text you put on the canvas. This kind of modular approach makes the project really robust, easier to maintain, and actually significantly simpler for new contributors to jump in and understand what's going on. Data handling for the Gumps themselves is managed through Gumps, and asset management, like accessing Gump and item art, is neatly handled through the asset's namespace. It's quite clean.
And the beauty of a tool like this, especially for a legacy game, is often its open source nature, right? Is that the case here? And if so, how does that really help foster community contribution?
Oh, absolutely. It is open source, licensed under the MIT license. And that's incredibly important. It means the tool isn't just something someone built and, threw out there. It actively invites collaboration. Any developer can fork the repository, essentially make their own copy, make improvements, fix bugs, add new features, and then submit those changes back to the main project via pull requests. It's a true testament to the power of community-driven development. It allows the tool to grow and adapt much faster than a closed-source project ever could.
Right. And how's that open source spirit reflected in its GitHub stats? Are people actually engaging?
Yeah, for a niche tool like this, it's showing pretty healthy engagement. Currently, it has 15 stars and 8 forks, and it's written 100% in C#. These numbers might seem small in the grand scheme, but for this context, they demonstrate that developers are not only interested, but are actively engaging with the codebase, forking it, likely tinkering with it.
What's really impressive about this project, though, is its continuous evolution. It's clearly not a build it and forget it kind of tool, is it?
Oh, not at all. This is very much a living project. Since its creation just over a year ago, it's seen an astounding 17 updates. Many of those happened right after its release in June 2024, showing really rapid initial development. And it even had a minor update as recently as June 2, 2025. That's just over a month ago, as of today, July 25, 2025. This just reveals an incredibly active and agile development process. Someone is really tending to this.
So, what kind of continuous refinements and new features have these updates actually brought? Can you give us a sense of the types of improvements people are seeing?
Yeah, it's fascinating to track. The update logs are packed with improvements, and they generally fall into a few key areas. You see crucial key fixes, things like improving the search by name function to be more precise, so it only finds names starting with a term, fixing element targeting on Canvas, so you can reliably select what you actually click on, which sounds basic, but is super important. They resolved tricky multi-line save load and export issues, fixed label hue problems, and even fixed a preview feature that got broken at some point. That's vital for designers. Then there are performance optimizations. They've optimized search, so the UI won't freeze up on large searches anymore. That's a big quality of life improvement. And significantly optimized moving elements with arrow keys, especially using Ctrl-Shift modifiers for a much smoother design experience. And then, of course, new features and enhancements. We've seen the element editor now integrated directly into the main UI, popping up on the top menu for quicker access. They added position of element on canvas, feedback in the bottom right, which helps with precise placement, and a really big one, multi-element copy-paste delete. That's a massive time saver for designers working on complex interfaces, even small but impactful additions, like expanding text entry fields with the T key or adding quick copy-paste shortcuts with Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V. It demonstrates a real understanding of the user's workflow.
Oh, and they even added support for MUO dynamic Gump export, showing a commitment to compatibility across different Ultima Online server setups. And fixed some spelling errors, too.
Wow, that's a lot of activity. So what does all this dedication and rapid development actually mean for the Ultima Online community itself? How are they receiving this tool? Is it making waves?
Well, it definitely means a lot. The numbers suggest good reception. The editor boasts 279 downloads and over 3,056 views on ServUO. ServUO is a very popular forum for Ultima Online emulation and development, so that's significant visibility. It also holds a stellar 5.00 star rating based on a user review there. Now, for a niche tool in a decades-old game, these numbers indicate, significant interest and a strong positive reception from the community it serves. It's clearly filling a real need.
And what does this tell us about the state of Ultima Online today? I mean, is it still a vibrant community, or are we just talking about a few dedicated enthusiasts kind of keeping it on life support?
That's a fair question.
Mhm.
But if we connect this tool's activity to the bigger picture, I think it really underscores the continued relevance of Ultima Online itself. There are still many active shards. Those are the player-run servers listed with their online player counts. For instance, looking at some current numbers, the Crossroads shard currently has 100 online players with a peak of 138. UO Eventide has 80 online with a peak of 137. Now, these aren't huge numbers by modern MMO standards, obviously, but they show a surprisingly vibrant, persistent player base. A base that continues to benefit immensely from dedicated tools like the UO Gump editor. It's definitely not just a historical artifact. It's a living, breathing community that passionate individuals are actively cultivating.
So just to kind of wrap up the core discussion here, the Gump editor seems like a fantastic example. An example of how passionate individuals and that whole open source ethos can truly breathe new life into classic games and empower player communities in ways the original developers might never have even envisioned. It's more than just software, isn't it? It's like a testament to dedication and collective ingenuity.
Absolutely. And what's truly fascinating here, I think, is that understanding tools like the UOGump editor offers us a glimpse into how dedicated community-driven development can profoundly enhance a niche interest, a specific passion. It leads to this continuous innovation and these highly tailored experiences that keep these digital worlds thriving long, long after their original release dates. It's really about preservation through active evolution.
Okay. Now, for you, our listener, here's maybe a thought to mull over as we close out. Consider what other long-standing online communities or, beloved digital experiences might be quietly thriving and evolving right now, perhaps completely out of the mainstream spotlight, all thanks to the dedicated efforts of open source developers like Wilson Kittabyte. Think about what that might mean for the future of digital creativity, maybe digital preservation, and indeed the very longevity of our favorite virtual worlds. There's a whole world of quiet, powerful innovation happening out there if you know where to look.